And then, considering what the national government is borrowing, the county government should also be given the same window of 20% to fund their budget deficits for their development projects. So in essence, it's just what we're saying is that whatever you're applying at the national level, you should also apply the same principles at the county level. Now, to address the second question of why is it that the counties have a problem with adhering to the stipulated or recommended 30% by the PFM with regard to recurrent expenditure versus development. One of the reasons that our recurrent expenditure grows is human resource expenses, which have to do with the staff that we have in the counties. Now, we got functions that were devolved, and with it came human resource. We also found human resource of the counties from the county authorities. Now, the challenge, like in this past financial year, if I could explain, the amount of money that the counties were given in additional revenue was less for most counties than that which would be required to just factor in basic requirements of law in terms of increases of salary, annual increases of salaries. And we raised it when we were coming to the Senate to look for the resources. So of course, if you do that 2-3 times, you will find that all counties then will end up spending a lot more than the 30%. So it is the only way to get the counties to have their 30% or less in recurrent expenditure, especially in human resource, is to increase the allocation that you're giving to the counties. But if you keep the allocation at a lower pace than the increase in recurrent expenditure, both when you factor inflation and they factor increased taxes, like right now we have increased taxes, and then you factor increased salary increment but that are mandatory by law, you will find that over the years, the cost of recurrent expenditure for counties will exceed the 30% threshold.
Chair, maybe before you give, and maybe he could also help you, because I know he's a finance person, because from your answer, what you are saying is actually not factual. You have said that what has been used to deny counties more revenue is how much government is borrowing. Well, the excuse that you may put it.
That is the excuse that the national government gives us when they are doing the current.
And I'm saying because your vice chair is a finance person, he knows that is not factual. What is factual is that is not borrowing, is debt financing. And it is also a fact, the Controller of Budget just released a report last week, but one, saying that we have now surpassed the 1 trillion mark in debt financing. And that is what has a bearing as to how much money then is available to the counties. The other thing that is factual, true, the cost of living is going up and inflation and all that, and wages will definitely go up. And I would want to hear